Hello, my dear student. Myself Ashrita from Department of Economics, SVS College, Pantwad. So, welcome back to online class. In the last video, we discussed about the unit of 2, monetary economics, that is value of money and its measures. So, under that, we discussed about meaning of money, theories of value, and under that we discuss cash transaction and cash balance approach and Fisher's theory, assumption and criticism. So these are all things we discussed in a last video, and today's we discuss a continue part of this chapter. So let us discuss about Marshall's equation. So the Cambridge cash balance equation of given by Marshall, Pigou, Robertson and Keynes are discussed as under that. So first we discuss Marshall equation. Marshall did not put his theory in a equation form, and it was for his follows and explained in algebraically. Cash balance held by the holders of money in a community and express the total as a fraction of their total income. Thus, can write like M is equal to KPY. In this equation, M represent total supply of money, that is a total amount of current of currency cash plus demand deposit in bank, and K represent the fraction of a real money income PY, and P is purchasing power of money or value of money, and Y representing the aggregate real income of a community. Thus the price level is equal to the P is equal to M by KY. According to Marshall, P, that is a value of money, can be found out by the dividing KY, that is a quantity of goods which the community demanded at the particular point of time. Marshall contend that the value of money is influenced not only by the change in a M but also by change in a K. Further, he is of the opinion that is more important than M in a influencing by P. So next, Pigou's equation. Pigou was a first Cambridge economist to express the cash balance approach in the form of equation, that is P is equal to KR divided by M. Under that, P represent the purchasing power of money or a value of a money. K is equal to the proportion of a total real resources or income, that is R, which people wish to hold in a form of cash balance, and R, the total resources that is expressed in a term of wheat or real income, and M, the total stock or total cash with the community. And Pigou modified his equation as after the first equation. He modified his equation like that: P is equal to KP by M C plus H and 1 by C. Here C, the proportional of total real income actually held by the people in a legal tender including token coins, and 1 minus C, it represent the proportional kept in a bank note and bank balance, and H, percentage of cash reserve against bank deposit held by the bank, and so C plus H and C 1 by 1 minus C, it representing the total amount of cash in the community at any particular time. So next, Pigou point out the P, that is a purchasing power of money, is influenced by the both supply and money, that is M, and the demand for money is K. He considered K as more significant than M in influencing the change in a value of money. According to Pigou, the demand curve of for money has been uniformed unitary elasticity. This is shown in the figure. So here we see the diagram. So here DD curve, you can see here DD curve as a demand curve for the money, and Q1, M1 and Q2. So and Q3 and M3 are a supply curve of money drawn drawn on the assumption that is supply of money is fixed at the point of type. The value of money or Pigu's purchasing power of money is P is taken on the vertical axis. In the figure, it shows when the supply of money increase from OM1 to OM2, the value of money is reduced from OP1 to OP2. So you can see in the diagram, and the fall in the value of money by P1 to P2 exactly equal to the increase in a supply of money by M1 to M2. If the supply of money increasing 3 times from OM1 to OM3, the value of money is reduced by the exactly one third from OP1 to OP3. Thus, the demand curve for money DD is rectangle hyperbole. It is because it shows change in a value of money exactly in the reverse proportion the supply of money. So in the diagram we can see, isn't it? So next, Robertson equation. To determine the value of money or its reciprocal, the price level, Robertson formulated an equation similarly to, to that Pigou. Only difference between the two begins that instead of Pigou's total real resources, or Roberts gave the volume of a total transaction, that is T. The Robertson's equation is like that: M is equal to PKT, or M is equal to M by KT. Under that, P representing the price level, M representing the total quantity of money, and K representing the proportion of total amount of goods and services which people wish to hold in a form of cash balance, and T the total value of the goods and services purchased during the year by the community. So next, Keynes equation. So Keynes is in his famous work a tract on a monetary reform, and in the year of 1923 gave his real balance quantity equation as an improved over an other Cambridge equation. His equation is like that: N is equal to Pk, or P is equal to N by K. Under that, K representing the number of consumption unit in a form of cash, N is equal to the total supply of money in circulation, and P representing the price level of consumption goods. And Keynes his equation later so as to including bank deposit in a money supply. Expanded for his equation is like that: N is equal to P K plus RK, or P is equal to N divided by K plus RK1. Under that, R the proportion of cash reserve kept by the bank against their deposit, and K1 representing unit of consumption goods which the consumer decided to held in the form of bank deposit. N represent the total amount of cash, that is legal tender money held by the public, and P is the price level of consumption goods, and K representing the number of consumption unit in the form of cash. So under that, there are some criticisms of cash balance approach. That is, the Cambridge version does not link the theory of money with theories of interest, and this is a serious omission. And second, the Cambridge version has ignored the speculative demand of hold money. And it is true that the price level is influenced by the liquidity preference. And the Cambridge version, like Fisher's theory, can explain the course of trade cycle, but it cannot explain the origin of trade cycle. Expect in the long run, where change in the volume of money have an important influence over a general price level. And the cash balance version is an inadvocated guide to the understanding of a mechanism of price change. So next, superior of Cambridge equation over the Fisher equation. So Fisher's theory did not provide any explanation of the velocity of circulation of money. The Cambridge equation tried to explain why money was held by the people and shift the emphasis for flow to stock. Fisher's theory laid emphasis on the supply of money and assumed that the demand for money is constant, but Cambridge version give a proper analysis of causes for change in a demand for the money. So next, Fisher's equations we only change in a supply of determinants of a value of money. Cambridge equations view change in both the supply of money and the demand for the money as the determinants of a value of money. Next, Cambridge equation is based upon the national income approach and also take into account the liquidity preference. Wherever a Fisher's equation, there is no explanation regarding the factor determines the liquidity preference. So next, we move on to the index number. Index number are actually figure that indicated the change of particular phenomena in the form of percentage. Index number are used to make the comparison of various change over a period. According to Professor uh, Skritz, index number are a series of number by which change in a magnitude of phenomena are measured from time or from place to place. According to Professor D. N. Elhans, to study the change in a effort of such factors which cannot measure directly. So, under that, we discuss constructions of index number. First one is purpose of the index number. So, the first step in the construction of index number is that of defining the purpose of which the index number is be used. And second, section of items. In the answer to the questions, what items should be increased in a sample and how many items should be including in a sample. And third, section of base year. The next step is a selection of base year, the year of comparison. Next, collection of data. The reliability of an index number depend upon the accuracy and the reliability of a date used for its construction. And selective of weights. In a simple index number, equal importance is given to all items collection and averaging. The construction of generally priced index number involves a process of combining several price in such a way that a single number may reflected to the overall change. So here we can see the simple price index number. A simple index number is a ratio of two value representing the same values or version measured in two different situations or in a two different period. A simple index number of price will be given the relative variation of a price between the currency period and a reference period. The following statement illustrated the process of computing of a simple index number. So we can see in the diagram commodities like that: rice, sugar, cloth, and kerosene. Under the base year is of the 2003 is rice is 16 per kg, 16 rupees per kg, and 15 per kg for sugar, and cloth for 30 rupees per meter, and kerosene for 10 rupees for liter. So base year index is 100, all the commodities, and current year price is 2013. And under the 2013, the price will be increased, like rupees 24 per kilo, and 30 rupees per sugar, and 45 rupees for the cloth, and 20 rupees for the kerosene. And the current year of index is 150, 200, and 150 and 200. So here is a change. According to this statement, the value of money has failed in 2013 because the price level has been raised from the 100 in the 2013 to 175 in 2013, as rise in 75 points. If the average had follows to less than 100, it would be means that the value of money had rise in 2013 as compared with the value of money in 2003. So next we discuss the weighted price index number. So second, index number constrained by given a weight to goods and services according to their relative importance are known as weighted price index number. So commodities are same: rice, sugar, cloth, and kerosene, and base year is also taken 2003. Under that 16 rupees per kg, and 15 rupees for the sugar, and 30 rupees for cloth, and 10 rupees for a kerosene. Under the base year is like that: 100 into 3 as 300, 100 into 200, 101 is 100, and 100 and 100 into 2 is 200. And the current year is 2003. Under that price of rice is 24, and sugar's price is 30, cloth price is 45, and also kerosene price is 20 per. So and the current index number is index is 150 into 3, and 200 into 2, and 150 into 1, and 200 into 2. So here is 175 is equal to 1400 divided by 8 is 175. Here is 800 divided by 8 is 100. In the above table, weighted has been assigned to different commodities according to the respectively importance. Weighted assigned to rice, sugar, cloth, and kerosene 3, 2, 1, and 2 respectively. This is weight including the relative importance of these commodities in the consumer budget. According to the above weighted price in index number, the value of money has fallen in 2013 because the price level has been raised from the 100 in the 2003 and 175 in the 2013. A rise of point is 75. So in the simple weighted simple price index also rise 75 points from the 2003 to 2013, and the weighted price index number also same. So 2003 rise 175, and 2013 sorry 2003 100 rupees rising, and in 2013 175 rupees. So totally 75 points are raised. So next, uses of index number. What are the uses of index number? So first one is help in studying trends. With the help of index number, it is easy to find out the trend of export, import, balance of payment, and industrial production, prices, national income, and the variety of other economic phenomena. And second one is help in policy formation. Index number help us at studying the trend of various phenomena, and these trends and tendencies are the basis on which many policies decisions are taken. And third one is helps in a measures of purchasing power of money. Index number are very useful in a measuring change in a value of money over the period of time. And fourth one is help in a measuring standard of living. Effects of inflation and deflation can be studied with the help of a techniques. And fifth, act as economic barometers. Just as a barometer measures the atmospheric pressures, index number are help in measure the pressures of economics and business behavior on the economic of a country. So there are some limitation of index number, that is one by one we discuss one by one. First one is selection of item. Owning the continuous change in a taste and habits of consumer, it is difficulty to find the common item of consumption in the base as well as a current year. The second one is section of base year. The selection of the base year also presented many difficulties. The year chosen to act as base year should be a normal year, and proper care has been taken while selecting the base year. And section of a source of date. The greatest difficulties is that the collecting the required data. And next, system of weighting. In the case of construction of weighted index number, the selection of weight and selection of average. The construction of price index number involves process of uh, combining the several price in such a way that a single number may reflect the overall change. So I conclude my class. So in the today's class we discussed the various Cambridge equations of Marshall, Pigou, Roberts, and Keynes. Then we discuss about the index number and the limitation of index number, and also the two types of index number, that is weighted and simple price index number, and uses of index number. So thank you class.